This is part 2 of the HouseBot automation demo. The heart of the actual automation is accomplished through user configurable tasks. Tasks are created with a simple point-and-click task wizard to set up sophisticated events without any manual programming. Tasks allow any monitoring control over any device in the HouseBot system. So as a simple example, let's create a task that will detect that the switch has been turned on and turn it off after a short time. So I'll click on Tasks, Add Task. So the first thing I'm going to do here is add a condition. A condition is what HouseBot will watch for and wait for to happen in order to execute the task. So the thing I'm going to wait for is I'm going to look at the Z-Wave switch, and when the power state is equal to on, and you can see it automatically added to this statement there. You don't have to understand programming to do this. It's pretty straightforward. It just says if Z-Wave power switch state is equal to on, then I tell what I want it to do. I'm going to add an action. When it's turned on, what I'm going to want to do is delay. So I'm going to delay for the number of milliseconds. If I say let's say 2,000. 2,000 milliseconds is just 2 seconds. I'm going to delay for 2 seconds, and then I'm going to add another action. I can have a whole list of things to be done here. So now I'm going to turn the power state back to off. And that's it. So now what's going to happen is that when HouseBot detects this turned on, it'll wait for 2 seconds and it will turn it off. Okay, so now I'm going to show this task working. I'm going to manually or physically turn this light switch on at the switch. You can see it turns on the light for 2 seconds and it turns the light out. That's HouseBot recognizing the light came on from the task, delaying for 2 seconds, and then turning it off. Pretty straightforward. Next, I'm going to show how the same light switch can be controlled and monitored on a software remote. I've already created an empty theme to work with, and it's configured to show on this wireless PC. So I'm going to go ahead and find this demo theme that I've started. And I'm going to add a new button control. So I select button. The type of button control is going to be a property change button. And then I could just choose any style of button I want. Something simple. I give it the label that'll show on the button. I'll choose the device. This is going to be the Z-Wave switch. And then the property that I want to change, which is the power state. And I'm going to select when I press the button, we want to change it to on. So let's change this to on. And here's the button. Pretty straightforward. And while I'm in here, I'm going to configure something that's a little bit more complex, which is another type of button, which is a multi-state property change button. Now these buttons here, not only do they change a button, but they will also show the state. So I'll go ahead and put the button label on here as well. Just like before, I'm going to choose the device and the property that I want to control and monitor in this case. Alright, so here's the second switch, second button. This one's a little bit different to set up. It has the notion of states. For different states of the property, it will show different button images. And it can have different actions when you press the button. So we're going to add a state. We're going to say the off state. So when that property is off, it's in the off state, if somebody clicks on it, we want to change that property to on. And when it's in the off state, the button image I want to show is, you can choose some of these stock ones that have little LEDs indicator built right in the button. So I can say if it's off, turn the one that looks like it's off. So now I'm going to add another state for the on state. So essentially, if the light is on and they click on it, I want to change the state to off, to turn the light off. And if it's on, the image I want to show is the similar button image, but with the LED indicator showing on. Okay. Okay, so I'll go ahead and save this. Now when I load up a software remote on this wireless PC, it'll automatically download the changes I've made here to this theme. And then we'll see a demonstration of how that works. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start up the software remote on this computer. And you can see it loads up the exact same theme that we've just created. Now we'll go ahead and see if it works. I'm going to turn the light on button, automatically turn the light on. And if you notice, when I turn it on, this little LED indicator on the other button actually automatically updated. I don't have a turn light off button, which would be the other thing you would want to do. But this button is a little bit more advanced, and it will turn the button off, if you remember the way we set up the state. So if I click it now while it's on, it'll turn the light off. And you also notice the little LED indicator turned off. And again, if it's off and I push it, it'll turn the light on. And the indicator shows that it's on. There are many, many other features of HouseBot that aren't covered in this demo. Understanding hardware interfaces, devices, tasks, and software remote themes are the main areas that we'll want to use when configuring HouseBot. We've only covered a fraction of these areas in this demo. But if you're interested in exploring this software yourself, you can download a free, non-restricted 30-day trial from the HouseBot website at housebot.com.